Okay, all that's left now, all that's over is slow crying and slow singing and flower bringing, right? Jackson, he lost. Lost to a better team. I kind of called it. I said the whole thing would be if you can stop Page. Stop Page, the game was yours. There was no one else on that roster I thought Jackson couldn't handle except Little Miss Page. Now, that's out of the way. Game's over. We had to seriously take off the rose-colored glasses or the Jackson State blue-colored glasses. And let's talk some hard truths right now. Miss Reed, contract's up, end of the year. I believe it's March 31st, end of the month. Miss Reed is going to get paid some money. But you have people like Arizona coach Ada Bynes, 1.2 mil. Terry Morin, Indiana, 1.25. Lisa Boulder, Iowa, 1.4. Joni Taylor, A&M, 1.5. Jeff Walsh, Louisville, which lost by the way, 1.754. Brenda Fraze, Maryland, 1.884. Vic Schaefer, Texas, 2.3. Gino Auriemma, the most winningest, dominatingest coach in women's basketball, pro and or college history, 3.1. Don Staley, 3.1, and for some odd ass reason, Mulkey, 3.264. If you were to put Miss Reed at the lowest of the top 10, even take out $264,000 and pay her that amount per year, she would be the highest paid HBCU coach in the history of HBCU sports. Over $1 million a year. I'm not pocket watching Jackson State. I feel that if they needed to get that money for her, they can get that money for her. I feel if they thought they can make that money back from her, they would definitely find that paper. Now, I know you're saying $1 million and everyone else is making 1.26. Yeah. Because once again, you're at an HBCU level, which is basically a group of five on the basketball stage. People forget that once you go to basketball, there's no FCS and FBS. You're all one group. Looking at the game between Connecticut and Jackson State, point blank period, I said there was nobody on that team I feared beside Miss Page. And looking at the game, there was no one on that team I feared beside Miss Page. Jackson just needed more horses. So that was. First quarter, Jackson was down 22-8. After the first quarter, it was pretty good. The big people weren't scaring nobody. The guards weren't really, they were making points, but they played the same people the whole damn game. Jackson needed more horses. And I can hear the people now, especially one very particular commentator. If they do give Miss Reed $1 million contract, if they do give her $1 million, she has to improve off of what's going on now. Because the thing is, Jackson right now is the most dominant, and I said it, most dominant HBCU women's basketball team in the modern era. The only one I can think of that was better than this current roster was probably Cheyenne. Y'all know what happened with that. So what I'm thinking of is actually, let's just be, let's speak facts, speak real. Let's not pocket watch it, right? Let's say if they bring her back on a 5-year, $600,000 a year contract, which is still going to be the highest paid coach in HBCU history, to be the most dominant HBCU basketball team in the modern era. By doing that, you're going to have to expand. You're going to have to basically read the Martin Luther King speech. Little white kids and black kids come together. And Jackson State will have to become the melting pot of Mississippi. Because the thing is, I'm not saying HBCUs are racist. The perception out there is black only. It's not a historically black college and university. It's historically black only universities. That's what the perception is. That's what the perception is always going to be. Ms. Reed has to break that mold at HBCUs. Now I know y'all going to say, well, we don't have to bring in the other people to come help us out. Keep saying that. But it's those other people that keep knocking your ass out. So you don't want to bring them in, but they the one taking you out of the picture. I'm not saying that's what Ms. Reed is doing. I'm not saying that. But there are so many little kids out there that get hot. They just want to get out there and play. Look at the men's side. The guy from Oakland was a D2 scratch. Comes out there, hits 10 3-pointers against Kentucky. Takes them out. You got to start finding players not only who fit your game scheme, can take your motivation and take your coaching ability, coaching style. But you got to start getting players in who bring that depth and that fire. I think Jackson State, if they will actually have a Miami Heat kind of offense or a roster, everybody plays a part. Anybody can get hot any time of the day. Everybody can shoot threes and play hard defense. I do believe if that happens next year, Miss Reed is signed, Jackson has the ability to get to the Sweet 16. The whole point is get a high enough seed. You're not playing these powerhouses up front. So that's the next step. Sign Miss Reed and let her flourish and bring in diversity. Coach, I'm out.